Inside this box is a brand new XP Pen Pro display tablet, which I'm about to award to the winner of the very first Marco Bucci Art Challenge. You know, there were a lot of submissions to this thing. I honestly could have used an intern to help me sort through them all. You guys know that he's not actually real, right? I don't have an intern. Sorry. I'm gonna need my coffee because look at all this stuff. I'm still going. There's about 150 submissions, I think. I didn't do an official count, but something like that. So what I did was boil it down to a manageable list of finalists. Ready? Congratulations, you're the winners. All right, let's do this for real. I have not rehearsed anyone's name, and I guarantee I'm gonna butcher them. So I wanted to mention this piece by Noodles09, this cyborg boxer. This is pretty cool. I'm really drawn to the gesture and overall shape of the guy. Noodles is really working on the value key here, the pose, which is sort of a very simplified shape going on. I like this. This is the stuff I was getting at in part 1 of the character design series. And is that a purse? Is he holding... Did that purse make it into the final? No, the purse is not in the final. That was a mistake. I'm just kidding. Good job, Noodles. This next one is from Joseph Picon Art. What I'm drawn to immediately here is that all the shapes appear to share the same kind of DNA. And if you go into the art process, you can see that Joseph is exploring that shape, and then that carries through into the rest of the process. This really reminds me of like a dungeon crawler style character. Nice job. All right, coming up next, we have art by Flash PFK. This is awesome. There's so much detail on it, and that's really rendered nicely, but it doesn't take away from the silhouette. And one thing I really like in the process, Flash PFK is experimenting with all kinds of different silhouettes for the weapons and stuff. I especially like how these silhouettes are very simplified, and then here all the adornments and little dangly bits are added on. And this character is really, really well thought out, and it makes for a believable final. Nice job. What's next? Ooh, this entry from Chin DWC, a fairy who enjoys playing chess with herself. Now, I'm not a fan of the game of chess, but I am a fan of good negative shapes. What I'm talking about is like this beautiful sweeping curve going into a straight, going into a few more straights. You can tell that Chin DWC has really put a lot of time and effort into designing not only the positive shapes, but of course the negative shapes that help sort of curate the positive shapes. You know, in this line drawing here, we can see a lot of the qualities of shapes starting to happen. This is like the birth of that shape, but in the final, it's been refined into something more interesting. And that's the kind of thing I tried to present in the 3-part character design series. Next up, this guy's gotta be trolling me with this name. Full. Well, Phil. The silhouette is nice and clear with an overall sort of C-curvy action to it. The facial expression reads nice and clearly as well. This character has very interesting lighting, so these explorations are really important to the process. Breaking down the form with simple boxes, but around that C-curvy gesture. And that's the thing with gesture. This drawing here is extremely rudimentary, but that's all you need a gesture to be sometimes, because the whole point of a gesture is to build on it. So nice work, Phil. Next, we have this skeleton character by Sikonica. Now there's a name that's nice to pronounce, Sikonica. It's like poetry, although I probably said it wrong. I can feel this guy's lumbering kind of movement as all those bones are rattling inside the armor. And let's see some of the design. These are all nice. They all have a nice sense of movement. And I love this form study here. Really reads as 3D. I love the volume of the rib cage. And then of course, tackling that cool challenge of laying body armor, like this thick body armor on top of a little skinny skeleton. Nice work here. And oh, look at this. Despite his scary looks and all, he is the kindest undead you will ever meet. Good job, Sikonica. Next up, we have art from Shaprock Art. I always love a good Baron. I can feel the weight of this dude. And let's scroll through the process and see what's going on here. Oh, we're going in reverse. What I like about this line drawing is all the interior details are kind of simplified and the focus is on the outside silhouette. And just like I mentioned a few entries ago, I really like these little intricate negative shapes. It really helps this pose read. And here's more silhouette studies. Good job, Sharp Rock Art. All right, next up is this super cool heavy metal guitar girl from Vic Art. I'm immediately drawn to the pose. You know, there's a nice C-curvy gesture through the thing that helps sell the movement here. And it's nice to see that being explored in gestures. And in the silhouette, you see all those spiky shapes that helps make a cohesive looking design. You know, this really reminds me of a TV show I worked on back in like 2010 called Mud Pit, which featured similar heavy metal style rock and rollers. This is nice, designing the figure through the guitar. I think it shows good discipline that you did that. Nice looking stuff, Vic Art. All right, and here we have a girl with the exact same haircut. This piece is by Joshi J. I love the look of all this cyber-punky, over-constructed machinery. And these silhouettes really are fun. Ooh, and look at this, a traditional pen and ink sketch. At least I think it is. And I really like how different these value keys are. Nice job, Joshi. Next piece is by Casper Crow. Everything is tall and skinny. And look at this, Casper Crow's even said, thin and tall. But I think simple words like that are very good to root your design in an overall theme. It seems simple, but it's really effective. You know, even the silhouettes read thin. Sorry, train's going by. I really like trains, except that train wakes up my daughter now, and I hate it. Thanks, Casper Crow. Sorry about the train. Next up, we have art by Estelle Frost. Now that is a solid artist name. If that's your real name, you should thank your parents. I love the painterly style and lighting on this character. It really reads as a cold night. Nice value key and color key explorations. A lot of options here you've given yourself. And we got some nice gestures here in silhouette studies. This is just great. And look at this, it looks like your commenters like it too. Thanks, Estelle Frost. Good work. Next, we have this guy by Cherry Art Pro. This could be Vlad's brother. Some nice perspective going on here with the feet. We got some gestures. We're building the form with boxes and cylinders, and with a nice close-up to end it off. Thanks, Cherry Art. Good work. It's a new day with a new mug. Let's get back to it. I really like this image by Hawes Artist. I don't know, something about this just makes me smile. I love how just bulky this dude feels. I think it's the combination of big forms like these giant forearms, combined with little observations like these little pipe folds here that help show the tension of this strap. I also love this page right here. That is an awesome piece of reference, and these are great little sketches to develop this giant turtle dude. And I like the exploration here. I think value key number 1 doesn't work as well because the lights and darks seem too scattered, whereas in the final we have a nice sort of dark over light statement. Great work, Hozart. I really like this one. Next, we had this entry by M. Real Teus. Close enough. This is some superb draftsmanship going on here. Just look at those folds in his robe. Subtle expression. This is not a neutral expression. There's like a, what would you say, like a longing going on here. And as we go through, we can see these beautiful value keys. A lot of thought put into the poses, even like a little hand pose here. This is a very nice piece, I think. Thanks, M. Real Teus. Aha, the Fishman from The One Aeronaut. This one might win for most out-of-the-box design. I mean, I love the shameless giant fish head. That is not even really humanized, it's just a giant fish, but somehow it works. Oh wait, it's a fish mask. He's got a human head, right? Yeah, all the sketches are with a human head, but he's got a fish mask. That makes it even better. I didn't actually see the face in the final. I only saw the human face once I saw that sketch. I'm not sure if that's bad or good, just an observation. Thanks, The One Aeronaut. Here's a design from Nebular Swamp, this futuristic rollerblading girl. I like the pose here. It's kind of understated, yet there still is a subtle arc to it, and you do sense that she's in motion, even though it's not like an overt motion. And of course, the design of the futuristic roller skates are really cool and help really set this off. And I think the blank facial expression, like this is a true neutral facial expression. She's like, yeah, another day with my futuristic rollerblades. I like it. Nice work. All right, this one here from Chris Dore Art. This is a tough angle to draw and paint, so good job right off the bat. On a pose level, I love the idea that the shoulders are twisting differently than the hips. Like you see the shoulders here are pointed that way and the hips are pointed that way. It really feels like this arm is lagging behind and about to, deliver some kind of action forward. Thanks for this one, Chris Dore. Nice work. Ah, this one by Tusio Art, going back to a subtle, understated yet effective pose. The way she's holding that coffee mug, it's not like stiff like this. There's a little taper to it, like she's lazy in the morning. I think that one touch really helps set off the character. And what's cool is, as I scroll through the process, you can see that in this sketch, that wasn't in the pose, and then it was added later. So something I think was found in the process, which is of course why we go through the process. I really like this one. Thanks, Tusio Art. Okay, this one here by Lady Chamomile. Really nice drawing. That pose, that twist in the head is really great. Also the offset shoulders. People rarely just pose like this. There's always some kind of, well, not always, but there's usually some kind of offset going on in the shoulders that really helps add a subtle action to it. Great explorations of both gesture and form here. And it looks like there's some homemade reference going on. Always good. Silhouette refinement, value studies, solid all the way through. Thanks, Lady Chamomile. This one here by Howagadon. There's a lot of stuff in it, yet it still feels cohesive. Like I can still see that character. I think the way it's achieved is that the accessory the character's holding is echoing the gesture of the character. There is a flow that they follow through the picture. And of course, the colors are nice and bouncy and playful as well, which always helps. Thanks, Howagadon. This image here by One Sketcher is the type of thing that can haunt your dreams for a few days. It's the combination of the facial expression with the happy clown attire, or maybe I'm just afraid of clowns. And you know, I really like these roughs. Look how rough they are. Look how exploratory they are. There's no sense of commitment to a final here, which I think is a good thing at this stage. And then here we're getting more committed, and here's some silhouette refinement, here's some form refinement, and then of course value keys, rendering process, color keys with their reference. This is all made for a very memorable character in my opinion. So good work, One Sketcher. And now, the time we've all been waiting for. It's time to announce the 3 winners. You know what I've learned from doing this contest? I don't like judging other people's art. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm flattered people entered the contest. I just don't think my opinion of your art matters at all. But we need some winners, so here we go. All right, so we're gonna start with the 3rd place winner, and I really gotta think about doing the dishes. The 3rd place winner of the first ever Marco Bucci Art Challenge goes to Emery Gort, with this bionic old man character with a pet turtle. The thing that draws me to this, plain and simple, is I want to know more about the world that this character inhabits, and I want to know more about his place in it. I think the thing that gets me here is usually you see like bionic parts on young athletic people, but this is like an aged guy. Also, this subtle L-shaped gesture to this guy, it really looks like he's carrying the weight of that backpack, and that over the years his posture is kind of worn down a bit. Like if I look at the gesture studies, these are beautifully simple drawings. They have absolutely no detail, but in a sense they are very detailed in that they capture this old guy's pose. And this of course is the one that Emery Gort went with. And as we scroll through the process, we see silhouette refinement, studies of form, the arm that's exposed from the clothing, even the bionic arm, there's a little form study of that. And of course, if you want to get on my good side, just put a turtle in your picture, really. Moving on here, we have a pencil rendering, and as I discussed in the character design series, some really nice and clear light and shadow shapes allow the whole thing to pop out. And I'm just noticing here that even the turtle looks bionic, which is totally awesome. And look at this, a whole bunch of value key exploration. This stuff is priceless when it comes to not only your presentation, but your improvement as an artist, to go through all these iterations and choosing the best one. And for those reasons, Emery Gort, I award you 3rd prize. That means you get a free download of any video you like from my store. I'll send you a DM. Thanks for the excellent work. I really enjoyed looking at this. All right, everybody. The 2nd place winner of the Marco Bucci Art Challenge is awarded to Rucksack Sketchbook for this paintbrush wielding burly dude. It feels both totally dimensional, the sense of weight is distributed correctly, so it's got both feel and form. And if I take you through the process, you can see an exquisite line drawing done here. Rucksack Sketchbook worked out all this stuff before going to paint it. And speaking of that, we have some nice color thumbnails here, and I think they all work. And moving on, we have some more fundamental studies. A beautifully simplified box study here. And avert your eyes because we even have the character naked right there. Not always an essential step, but I appreciate it. Even little tiny head studies and how it meshes with the mustache shapes in there. And I guess we're kind of moving backwards in the process here because we have initial gestures and then the selected gestures here and then how the artist has built on that. This is a fantastic, thorough process, beautiful result. And Rucksack Sketchbook, as the 2nd prize winner, you get 3 free downloads from my store. I will be DMing you on Instagram as well. Congratulations and excellent work. Hey, if you don't know about my art store, check it out at marcobucciartstore.com. Click on workshops, and you can browse a whole series of in-depth videos. Many of them put the lessons that I teach here on YouTube to practice, and in real time, you can see me solving problems in a real painting, and of course, narrating my process. You can also find traditional watercolor lessons, as well as in-depth lessons on understanding the human head, understanding the digital painting workspace in general, the drawing and painting fundamentals that go into a successful illustration career. That's at marcobucciartstore.com. And now, the winner of the first ever Marco Bucci Art Challenge, the artist who will get the free XP Pen 15.6 Display Tablet Pro, I present to you Ed Pinocchio's hoverboarding future punk mechanic, Look at this design. I dare you to find a wasted shape anywhere. The pose is also dynamic and it feels like it's in motion. The painting feels like she's in motion. The hoverboard wrench prop is cool. I've never quite seen those shapes before. Even the clothing appears futuristic somehow, yet believable still. Even this sliver of boot is cool. I think this picture just exudes coolness. And that's credit to good design. Let's scroll through the process here. As you probably expect, there's a whole lot of exploration going on. And honestly, they're all good. Any one of these could work. This here is clearly the pose Ed Pinocchio went with. And look how simple it is compared to the finished rendering. All right, let's see what else. We're getting into figuring out the clothing, and I imagine the clothing was not figured out in this pose. It was actually figured out in a more frontal pose like this, and then apply it to a more perspective-driven angle. Here's the design of her hoverboard prop, some basic color ideas, and moving on here, look at this. Anatomy studies, form studies, skeletal structure, everything is here. There's even a complete line drawing that wasn't even used in the final. I mean, come on. Ed Pinocchio, congratulations, you are the winner, and you will be the recipient of the brand new XP Pen tablet. I'll have my intern DM you. All right. I'd like to thank XP Pen for providing their product for this contest. Congratulations to all the winners, and also thank you for everyone who participated in this contest. Intern or no intern, I had a great time going through everyone's entry and seeing all of your hard work. You know, I don't know whether I'll do another contest, but I'll tell you one thing, if I do, I'm gonna get someone else to judge it. My next upload is coming soon, and we'll be getting right back to art lessons. I'll see you then, and happy painting.